It's one of those damp and dreary London evenings in late February of 1838 when young Jane Alsop is startled after hearing a loud ringing coming from her front gate. She goes outside to investigate, and she's confronted by a man who claims to be a police officer. The man exclaims, "For heaven's sake, bring me light, for we have caught Springheeled Jack here in the lane." She quickly brings the man a candle and notices that he's wearing an oversized cloak. But as she hands him the candle, he suddenly throws off his cloak and presented a most hideous and frightful appearance, spitting flames from his mouth. He lunges at her and tears her gown. Jane manages to free herself and runs towards the front door. She screams for help. Her sister rushes to her aid, yelling for the police as the assailant escapes into the night. A week later, a young woman by the name of Lucy Scales is returning home after leaving her brother's house. As she passes by an alley, she notices a tall figure in a dark cloak staring directly at her. Who is that? But before she has time to react, the shrouded figure leaps out in front of her, breathing fire into her face. She becomes temporarily blinded and falls to the ground, screaming in terror. Her brother hears her cries and rushes to the scene, but by the time he arrives, her attacker had vanished, leaving them, the police, and concerned residents all asking the same question: who could have done such a thing? Over the next few weeks, his attacks became more prevalent. His victims were all women who described him as a ghost, a bear, or even the devil himself, tearing off their clothes with claw-like hands as cold as a corpse. But the police were closing in on someone. Thomas Millbank, a man who boasted that he was Springheeled Jack, was arrested. He was brought before the jury, but he escaped conviction because Jane Alsop insisted that her attacker had breathed fire. Millbank admitted, "I could do no such thing." Springheeled Jack was still at large, but strangely enough, the attacks halted after the trial. Soon, his reputation began to spread throughout the countryside as he became one of the most feared and intriguing characters of his time. And although the public grew more fascinated by the creature and his exploits, it wasn't over yet, as scattered reports of more attacks continued throughout the mid-1800s. In 1877, a soldier on duty at Aldershot's barracks peered into the darkness when suddenly a figure was advancing towards him. The soldier called out to stop, but the figure confronted him and slapped the soldier several times in the face. A nearby guard shot at the creature, but the bullets had no visible effect. The strange creature then sprang into the night and astounding the guards. Even though there are a few more sightings of Springheeled Jack reported over the next several decades, his true identity has never been revealed. Was it a devil-like creature, or a gravity-defying phantom, or a simple explanation for unsolved crimes? Or maybe, just maybe, he still lurks in the shadows today.